final matchday preview, the biggest game in the Premier League this weekend. Unfortunately, it's not Man United against Luton. Sarah, we're going to Manchester City against Chelsea, two teams that I don't think are going to be much liked and appreciated going forward with their FFP regulation issues going forward. It's very, very difficult to see how they're going to survive. Everton have been deducted points. Nottingham Forest are going to have a trial soon as well. Chelsea are on the brink of having a trial set, and Manchester City's trial is set for 2025 of all years as well. So lots of charges against these two teams, but they are two fantastic teams to watch as of late. Chelsea are getting back into form. Cole Palmer has been absolutely fantastic, and they won emphatically 3-1 away to Crystal Palace on Monday as well. Manchester City won 3-1 away to Copenhagen in the Champions League. So it is the 3-1 game. I'm expecting a 3-1 victory for Manchester City at the Etihad this weekend. But what's your thoughts on this game? And are there any players that you're looking forward to watching for Chelsea or for Manchester City, Sarah?
I mean, I think this is going to be a standard, very, uh, you know,
Like every Man City game, just a standard victory.
I mean, because Chelsea is so, you don't know what you're going to get from them right now. They have like little bursts of potential, but then all of a sudden everything comes crashing down. And there are a few players that have been good throughout the season, but only a very few that have been consistent, right? So I don't know. The Chelsea team, it's so hard to figure out what exactly they're doing, but it still seems quite shambolic. So I will say that I assume Man City will win. It's at the Etihad, I believe. So I think it will be also a thrashing, maybe not a 6-0 thrashing, but I think this is Man City's game. Who am I looking out to watch? Okay, so Phil Foden, I think, has been absolutely brilliant for City, especially becoming a starter once again, kind of coming back into that lineup. He's been great. I like to see him. Of course, I always like to watch Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne in the middle. What are they going to create? What are they going to do? If Julian Alvarez gets on the pitch, gets some minutes, I love to see what he can do. I'd say he maybe scores this weekend against Chelsea.
Good claim.
And from Chelsea, I mean, I don't even know who I want to watch at this point.
Petkovic, the goalkeeper, is one of their shining lights of this season so far, and former Manchester City player Cole Palmer.
So maybe, but like I don't even know. I hope Thiago Silva doesn't have a bad game. How about that? That's what I hope, because I love Thiago Silva. I hope that he's not doing what he's been doing.
He did get injured against Crystal Palace, so I'm not sure if he's going to be fit for the game, but there will be a fitness test before to see if he does start. And Thiago Silva versus Erling Haaland will be one of the biggest matchups in the weekend ahead as well. And before we wrap up as well, again, I just need to think about how much Chelsea have spent. I'm gonna have a moment silence for how much Chelsea have spent. They've spent 4 times the value of Serie A clubs in the last 18 months. Do you know how crazy that is, Luca? 4 times the amount. 4! And the Serie A clubs have spent in the last 15, 16 years. It's embarrassing to think about.
No, it's also something to study, you know?
It is. It is. It should be.
You have to study this fact, this phenomenon on a market perspective, because it's something, it feels like an impulse from Chelsea needing to sign some 2006 Brazilian wonder kid, you know? Of course, I understand.
Loan him out to Nottingham Forest.
Of course, I understand there is a vision. Of course, I understand there is a project, and it's a very long-term project because they are signing contracts until 2028, 2029, etc., 2030. But thing is, you are spending crazy amount of money. So, yeah, here in Italy, we can just watch and enjoy and maybe report transfers and hope that some of Chelsea money arrives in Italy. And also, what Italian teams can do, and AC Milan knows how to do it, is taking advantage of the situation to buy some Chelsea outgoings for a lower fee they would be, generally speaking. We are speaking about Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Pulisic. They have been both great for AC Milan. They are shining in the Serie A. Pulisic, very good player. Loftus-Cheek, with his physicality, can bring something very important to the Serie A and to AC Milan, something that was missing after Frank Kessid's departure and also Tonali's departure. So AC Milan was missing a box-to-box player, you know, in the middle. And now they brought Ruben Loftus-Cheek in for a total of 40 million, those two players. And also Olivier Giroud, when he left Chelsea, he went to AC Milan, and AC Milan bought him from Chelsea because he had 1 year more on his contract. And so a Chelsea trio is doing great things in Serie A. So as English side invest money into the Serie A young talents, Serie A can still look at the outgoings of rich Premier League clubs that sometimes they are not looked at too much, but they are good opportunities.
Yeah, like Justin Kluivert when he left Roma to go to Bournemouth as well. That was a good deal. And he's doing his in and out of the side at the moment, the son of Patrick Kluivert, which is a good conversation to see if he's going to live up to his father's expectation. That was going to be a topic for today's podcast, fathers and sons in football, but we'll stick for another one because that's a very big topic in terms of who were the best father and son duos in football.